welcome to the School Bus Grand Prix at Catalonia in Spain. I'm not going to miss this week's Daily Race C, but I am going to miss GT Sport, and in this video we're going to talk about exactly why I'm going to miss GT Sport. Playing in the background will be a race from Daily Race C this week, driving in the Ferrari 458. What a fantastic car to drive. I really enjoy driving that car, but it's not really that good for this race, I'm afraid. But yeah, why am I going to miss GT Sport? So for me, GT Sport got me back into sim racing. I was an avid sim racer playing iRacing. I've played all the old school sims, Grand Prix Legends, NASCAR Racing 2003, all the Jeff Crammon titles, and I got very into iRacing in maybe 2015 or so, something like that. But I felt like it was becoming a job. I was having to invest time in car setups. I was having to invest time practicing for races. And then the race would start and you've got so much invested into it. I just gave up on it. It was becoming like a second job. And anything that's like a job isn't enjoyable, surely. So I just put it to one side, went back to the first person shooters, just played console gaming and just had fun. For me, I was an Xbox player playing the Forza Motorsport games, the Forza Horizon games, and just getting very frustrated with just the chaos on the track. You have such widely different performance of the vehicles. You have got cars that are awesome in the turns, absolutely awesome grip, and then you've got cars that are tuned to be 400,000 horsepower, and they'll just blow your way down the straights, and it was just absolutely random racing. Watching Super GT videos, he's doing all the shameful rammers, the Forza videos, all that fun stuff. And I also saw some great GT Sport content from him, and how amazing and how close those races are, and how well they represent just real life motorsport. You just see all of the same stuff happening in GT Sport as you do in real life motorsport. It's a great simulation of racing. I made a video on my channel about why GT Sport is the best racing simulator. Very controversial video. I'll drop a link to that in the description or in a card or something like that. But yeah, for me, the key word here is racing. It simplifies a lot of things like the driving model. It has fixed setups, it has BOP, and it allows you to focus on racing. You can just pick up your controller or pick up your wheel. It's perfect on both. And you can just, within 15 minutes of practice, get yourself dialed into the track, and then just go and race with people. The SR and DR rating matches you against similarly skilled players, so you've always got a really good battle to have. And it's just been brilliant. And for me, GT Sport was something where I stepped into something completely new. I started making YouTube videos. I've always enjoyed making videos, watching the replays back. I really love watching replays and just seeing how a race played out, and it just really ignited a fire for me. GT Sport was the perfect balance of simulation, simplified simulation, and door-to-door racing with online opponents. I don't think I've raced a single AI in GT Sport. Every race I've had has been online racing. And you know that when you're going door to door with someone, or you're putting a move on somebody, or they're just throwing one down the inside like they did just then, it's a real person. There's someone else on the other end of that connection driving that car. You are having real life motorsport battles in a virtual environment. As Calster gets completely sideways there, we're going to back it into the corner there, getting a bit locked up on the brakes. You know, it's all going to kick off. Muzz to the inside here. We're going to go side by side there, a bit of door banging going on, and just that couple of seconds that just happened there, that's three drivers in three completely separate locations just going head to head racing. It's absolutely fantastic. And this is what I'm going to miss about GT Sport. It's got that level playing field. The BOP is enabled. There's normally a meta car that everyone really chooses that car, and you know you've got the same hardware as everybody else you're racing with. It just comes down to skill level, and you can practice and improve yourself on that. So my concern for GT7 is there might be less BOP races. There might be tuning enabled. There might be performance points enabled where you can change the horsepower of your car and choose whether or not to have suspension improvements or whether to have engine improvements. And you're going to get a huge disparity between two cars that can produce the same lap time but in a completely different way. We have a huge problem in GT Sport actually in the Group 1 category, where the Group C cars or the VGT cars perform in such a different way to the LMP style hybrid cars, and yet they produce the same lap time, and that makes really random racing. I think the best racing comes when the cars are very evenly matched and it's down to your skill level, it's down to your lap times, it's down to minimising track limits, doing strategy on the pit stops with the tyres. All those things come into play here. I ran a poll on my community tab, and here are the results. 150 votes coming in less than 24 hours, so thank you very much for taking part in that. If you are interested in sharing your opinion, just comment on the video below. It's always nice to hear people's thoughts and get involved with the community. Now, for me, I'm maybe more in the first option with a little bit the third option. I'm really going to miss GT Sport, as we mentioned in the video earlier on. I am very excited for GT7. It's going to be a great return to the original GT style title, but I'm just concerned over multiplayer. They have everything in the game to at least have some daily races that really fit the GT Sport kind of theme, and surely they will, but if they don't, that could be concerning. One thing I am very excited for the GT7 is the dynamic weather. That is going to be absolutely fantastic, and if they can have that in multiplayer, then it's going to add an element of randomness to the race, which is going to allow you to have to think on your feet and make a strategy call during the race. It's going to kind of level the playing field a little bit. You can't practice to run a perfect race, which is actually a little bit of a negative about GT Sport, is that you can practice the race conditions and you can just practice over and over again to do your race strategy, and that's where you can just invest a lot of time and be better. If the race was more random with dynamic weather, you're not guaranteed to get the right conditions. You're going to have to think on your feet, and I'm quite excited for that, and hopefully they can implement that into a daily race where you've got a race that's 20 minutes, 30 minutes long, with who knows what's going to happen for the weather, and you're going to have to keep an eye on that radar and see when you want to make the tyres call or not. On the subject of the weather radar, why have they put that on the MFD? Or more specifically, why don't they put the radar as a separate item that's always on screen? Please, everybody should drive with radar, but they've just added one other very useful MFD selection tool that's going to mean that you're less likely to use radar all the time. It's stupid in my opinion. Let's get radar on permanently for all the views, and also just add a rear view mirror. These are just small quality of life improvements that they can be done. It's not a difficult thing to do. They have the framework in place already. Let's just add that for the community. As always, let's get you involved and let me know what you think should be in GT7 that you're afraid isn't going to be in GT7. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. When I started this GT Sport channel, I had one subscriber. I did subscribe to myself, but in the course of 2 years, we're almost up to 1,900 subscribers. We're a sniff away from 2,000 subscribers, which is absolutely unbelievable. I really enjoy interacting with you all, making great content, and certainly seeing you out there on the racetrack. There's been many occasions in the daily races where we have people that recognise me, comment on my channel. Muzz, for example, in this race, we see him all the time out on the track commenting on some videos in the Discords, and it's always great to see. If you also do want to check out a Discord, check out the link in the description below for the Race Asylum Discord. We're here to help you get faster in GT Sports, so check us out there. There will be more tuning that is most likely going to be available in GT7, and we have people in that community that are good at tuning, so that's going to help you out. So get involved with the Discord community, and we'll catch you in the next one. Well, yeah, actually, before you go, I'll just finish this race for you. We did absolutely rubbish, coming home pretty much in last position, bringing a penalty across the line, and yeah, goodbye Daily Race C this week. You will not be missed at all, but GT Sport, you will be missed.